That was their voice. Smythe's voice. They were ready for it. They knew it would happen. They made it happen. It seems we were played for fools. My hatred blinded me. You heard the speech. This is just a scramble for control. Another stepping stone in their pursuit of power. You have a right to doubt me. I'm having similar doubts about our friend, Mr. X. Don't lose sleep over it. There were parasites. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. Time is not a resource abundant to me, and I have some other things I need to take care of before it runs out. Good luck, Wayfarer. Whatever path you choose, stick to it. And don't ever look back.
That's a proper stiff one there.
Ever vigilant. Hail, fellow. My respects to you. Your exploits are known here. Have you come to join us? I'm Lancelot, head of security here at Camelot. Stop by the tavern sometime. You can buy me a drink. Westminster's usually closed to us commoners. Parliament even more so. But you, you got those signatures and beat the gentry at their own game. All within their sodding laws. In a fair world, they'd let you in. Instead, they chucked you in the nick. Typical, innit? When you escaped, it's only natural fate led you here. This land is Albion. You stand before Camelot, the last stronghold against gentry tyranny. The fifth column. They won't destroy what the gentry stands for, only replace them. Of course, we've all the amenities. Just stay clear of the keep if you want to keep your head, and speak to Arthur before you go. He has a way with words. Might just be that you stick around.
Be more careful. There's a war on.
Stop this madness at once! Is there not a grain of sense between you?
If the old man wants to fight, let him.
By all means, fight. Such is the custom of Dueler's Ditch, but not to the death. Do not spill the blood of your compatriots.
Compatriots? Do compatriots break honest agreements out of spite? Do they lie and cheat? The Baileys are nothing but crooks.
My family followed that ridiculous agreement to the letter.
This matter was resolved. The Round Table decreed half the forest to be preserved. What happened?
Card, burned to the ground.
And was this your family's doing, Thomas?
Of course not. The old man's deranged. What good is a charred forest to us? We're carpenters.
The Radstags have fled for the hills. The land is useless to us now. Your half-wit of a father thought we'd sell it to you.
Don't speak about my father. You have no idea.
One of you, John, call this off. No one will think any less of you.
They've gone too far this time, Arthur.
Thomas?
I need to defend my family's honor. I won't take these accusations sitting down.
Very well. Commence.
Huh? Yeah. Wait.
Will you not cheer the victor?
He was a young man, John. This feud has gone on too long. I shall send someone to investigate the matter. It will be resolved.
He agreed. Such is our way.
If I joined, you think they'd give me a page? Or could I just go
Some will
straight to
judge
being
me for what has
anointed?
happened here today. They'll claim that because I could have stopped it, I should have. What do you think? Yes, I had similar thoughts. Freedom of choice is important to many of my people. I have to refrain from exercising power whenever possible, even if I want to. I have only the authority my people have given me. They trust in the end, when Westminster falls, that democracy will take its place. Everything I do must be towards that goal. Any unnecessary use of power will break their trust, and trust is keeping this movement together, not strength. Anyway, don't get the wrong idea. Our tourney grounds across the field are oft used for friendly bouts. Speak to Galahad if you're interested. Is there something you wish to discuss? Direct them to Percival. He enjoys bombarding newcomers with the riveting tales of Camelot and our history, as if it was already enshrined in legend. Anything else? By all means.
That was actually kind of fun.
Your timing's impeccable, comrade. A number of recruitment training slots have just opened up. You'll learn all that's required to brave the wastes. Not simply weapon-based combat, but also provisioning and espionage. At the end of training, you'll be assigned to an advisory branch. Oh, and of course you'll be paid for your time. Each branch is led by one of Eve's advisors and runs different initiatives. There are 5 main branches: administration, offense, defense, tech, and domestics. You'll be assigned to a rank and branch respective of your talents. Me? Name's McFadden. My job is to sit here and, well, recruit people.
Holy shit! Now that's some nice armor.
One moment, please. One second. And done. Oh, it's you. I'm afraid I can't let you in without a bowler hat. It's policy. I guess that's true. It's good the working class still know their place. Go right in. I'll buzz you through. Life at the top is immensely satisfying.
It must be horrible to live in places without luxury.
Ahoy hoy, wayfarer. Our meeting will have to take place over the telephone, I'm afraid. Scheduling conflict. Even so, I'd like to thank you for your assistance up until now. You're more helpful than you realize. All in good time. There's an important matter I wish to discuss first. At any rate, congratulations on moving up in the world. You've certainly taken advantage of all this troubled city has to offer. Your diligence is almost impressive. Nobody's ever managed to discover as much about Angel in so little time. But I can't help but feel animosity. So, in the spirit of goodwill and discovery, I'm willing to offer you a deal. Cooperate with my organization, and I'll give you my most valuable resource. Information, because information is power. And I know who you are. Who you really are. Go on. Angel believes in whatever I want it to. I am Angel. And what I believe is on a need-to-know basis. I have bold plans for this city, and I want someone equally bold to enact them. I could get into specifics, but I won't. That's something we can discuss at a later date. Good. Cooperation with Angel can be summed up in an utterance. Do as you are told. Follow that simple rule and you'll get everything you've ever wanted. Considering you have no bargaining power, that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. So, wealth is your ambition? Typical. But I'll try not to judge. I can guarantee you'll be paid more than the gentry's subsistence wages, and certainly more than the pocket change handed out by the pros. In fact, when this is all over, I can make you a millionaire on the spot. Not that you'll need it, of course. When one achieves ultimate power, they tend to find things fall into place for them. I'm listening. Your indecisiveness is discouraging. But I'll chalk it up to ignorance. When you come to your senses, there's a card on my desk. Go to the address on it. This conversation is over. Be seeing you.
People have a negative attitude. That's what's stopping them.
Is there something you wish to discuss? Good. You could be the missing piece. I'm relieved Lancelot sent you to me. Merlin would have you running the beep test. Our contact in Westminster told us of your story. You are no doubt someone who can perform beyond rank-and-file duties. I had some things I wanted to ask you if we ever crossed paths, but now isn't the time. There's a more pressing matter at hand. This feud between the Fletchers and the Baileys, it started as bickering, but now there's blood involved. I fear it will escalate further until one of them is driven from the land. This is not what anyone wants. To lose either family is to lose the food on our tables or the tables themselves. Hunters and woodcutters are the basis of any decent civilization. On top of that, if we're ever going to finish Merlin's trebuchet, we need supplies and aid from both families. So, I need a trustworthy outsider to investigate. In short, I need you. Consider it your initiation. Once upon a time, the two families were friendly. They're neighbors. The Baileys even helped the Fletchers build their treehouse. It's an impressive structure, I must say. The conflict stems from a piece of disputed land. The Baileys kept expanding their lumber yard into the Fletchers' hunting grounds. When the Fletchers appealed to the Round Table for judgment, none had a superior claim. So we split the land in half. They both felt robbed, but the matter was resolved. For a time. That was until the fire. A section of the land caught aflame during the night. It was mostly on the Fletchers' side, but the Baileys weren't unscathed. They both accuse each other of starting it. If either claim is truthful, then sanctions would have to be handed out. I need you to get to the truth of the matter, and I want some evidence. Well, to be entirely truthful, I think it's unnecessary. The Baileys easily could have expanded their yard in a different direction, or made do with what they had. Same for the Fletchers. That land may have been their most bountiful, but they have acres of Camelot territory to hunt in. I suspect pride is mixed up in this somewhere, on both sides. I have no reason to suspect either family. They both accuse each other of the same crime, and I don't wish to inflict bias on your judgment. I would trust any of my men to carry out the investigation impartially, but they wouldn't. The decision on their land dispute, for example, it was a 50-50 compromise, yet both perceive it as a loss induced by bias. With an outsider carrying out the investigation, they might accept the Round Table's decision. Us. Camelot. Pieces are falling into place, and the gentry are on their way out. They're not urgent. You can focus on the task at hand. Get your affairs in order quickly. We could have an all-out war on our hands if nothing is done. Are you ready? Good. Start by questioning the leaders, Edward Fletcher and Harold Bailey. Get both sides of the story. Then investigate the scene of the fire. See what you can find. Lancelot ordered patrols to keep an eye on the area and warned everyone to stay clear, so nothing should be tampered with. Once you've brought evidence of the truth, I can bring you into the fold. For now, I'll let Lancelot know you can come and go to the castle as you please. Good luck.
Guess I know me a proper knight now. Figured your armor would be shinier though.
Why didn't God give Radstags 2 bodies instead of 2 heads? That's the bit we don't eat. That's the boring answer. I'm Mary, Camelot's greatest huntress. I've perfected the art. My cousin Damien's pretty good, I don't doubt it. But I'm the best there is. I bet it was the Baileys. They most likely discovered fire for the first time in their lineage and got carried away. Don't be a stranger.
Need something? I'm not sure. I'll be honest, what my brother did was regrettable. John and the boy weren't part of this feud, or at least they shouldn't have been. Being knights of Camelot, they live, or lived, at the castle. Seems they had a feud of their own after the fire, a microcosm of conflict. It's unfortunate it escalated. I almost lost my Mary last year to illness. I can't imagine the pain Harold must be going through. Whatever he did, no one deserves that. I'm Edward Fletcher, hunter by trade. Me and my family packed up shop and came to Albion 7 years ago, from Brumley. Back there, we had to fend for ourselves. But here, we're protected. We can hunt in peace. It's a good living, and we're good at it. Me and my brother come from a long line of huntsmen. Our father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all stalked the wastes, and I hope my descendants will do the same. Mary, me oldest, continues the tradition. Sarah, my youngest, can't stand it. Says it's cruel. Each to their own, I guess. Let's see. We might still have some surplus in storage. Need something? It's about time. There's been too much confusion around this fire. It must be stamped out. Harold Bailey himself, I suspect. Or maybe his father. I doubt he would have gotten any of his boys to do it. Who else would do it? If you have any evidence to the contrary, then fair enough. I'll put a sock in it. But I don't know anyone else with a motive. While I'm certainly not shy about making their involvement in the fire known, I think they're good people at heart. They're just stubborn. They know that land is ours. We moved into the area and claimed it weeks before they even arrived. And they think just because they helped build this place that we owed them. They received banquets of food in return. More than fair. This was the early days of Camelot, nearly 8 years ago. They could have starved without our generosity. I was preparing dinner for my family. I'll do terrific venison stew. Here, have a can. Very well. Later.
What's up? I'm a seamstress. Have been all my life. I make gambesons and the like for the Camelot army. I see. Be careful out there. The Baileys are loose cannons. Take care.
Hello there. I didn't lose my son. He was taken from me. That whoreson John Fletcher murdered him. He can call it a duel all he wants. Fletcher knew my son wouldn't refuse. Thomas would have done anything to defend our family. Worst of all, Fletcher knew he'd win. He's a trained killer since birth. It was murder. Murder hiding behind the notion of honor. John Fletcher is a bitter old man to rob my son of the rest of his life. Someone with a good sword hand should give him what for. I should try myself. I want to tear his guts out with my bare hands. But all I can do is swing this axe. And my sons already lost their brother. I'm Harold Bailey. We were a family of merchants before we came to Albion. We wanted to settle down here, so we picked up a trade. At first, we were just woodcutters, but soon enough we started building our own furniture, and then other people's furniture, and then houses and everything in between. We finally feel like we belong somewhere. I hope the rest of London will see what's happening here and accept Camelot as the way forward. Good. The truth about this fire will prove our innocence. The Fletchers. I don't have any evidence, but I know it was them. That may not be good enough for the Round Table, but it's good enough for me. They're criminals. They were nice enough at first. We even helped build that treehouse of theirs, but they quickly revealed their true colors. That land is rightfully ours. It's on our side of the walkway. Stopping our field at some arbitrary line is ridiculous. They have the entire woods to hunt in. Do you know how much additional manpower it takes to haul wood long distance? I used to think they were just stubborn. Now I know it's something more malicious. After what they did to my son, I'll never forgive them. Listening to the radio. I always tune into Nigel's show in the evenings. I'd almost drifted off in my chair when the smoke got me up. I thought the whole forest was going to burn down. We managed to stop the spread with the water from the pond. Of course he does. Look, I know this fire doesn't look good for us. It mostly being their land. But I promise you, it wasn't us. The Fletchers are conniving. They know if we ever did something like that, we'd face sanctions. Most likely, they'd get their half of the land back. No worries. Go on. No worries. See you around.
Greetings. I'm Frank Bailey, Harold's old man. My working days are behind me, so I mainly handle logistics. Keeps my noggin busy. I saw 2 people out there that night, shortly before the fire. Didn't get a good look at them, though. My eyes aren't what they once were. See ya.
Sorry, can't talk right now. Need help? Hello, sir. Name's Timothy, or Timmy for short. Saw the fire with me own eyes, I did. Thought the old forest was a goner till it started chucking down. Could be I can help with your investigation. Always fancied a career in sleuthing. I watched you snooping round like a prat, that's why. Harold and Susan, but I just call them Mum and Dad. I'm their youngest. Up to what? I just want to help with the investigation, that's all. Thanks. I try not to think about it. Me and me older brother Ryan looked up to Thomas. Well, since I don't fancy digging round in the mud for clues, I can do you one better. I saw a bloke light the fire that night. I didn't see his mug. I was watching from the lumberyard, but he was suited up like a Camelot knight. He ran off to the old shack over there. I didn't follow him or nothing. I'm not supposed to go out on my own. So, did I crack the case or what? Not really. It was dark until the fire properly got going. By then, he'd run off to the shack. You know, checking the trees. It's a family business. A witness who just solved your case. Be more grateful. No worries. I'm always glad to lend a hand to those in need.
Can I help you? I'm Ryan Bailey. Not much to say, really. I don't get up to much. I work hard, and I keep my head down. Yeah? Good. Not sure who done it myself. All I know is that my brother shouldn't have died over some poxy forest. Are you? You round table lot could have stopped it. But you didn't. You just stood and watched it happen. He had an accident, that's all. A tree fell on me. Hazard of the trade. Oh shit. It's not what it looks like. At least, it didn't happen the way you think. Please, just let me explain. It was an accident. Me and Timmy were sneaking off to the tavern that night. We wanted to surprise Thomas. One of those bleeding radstags came out of nowhere and rammed right into my leg. I didn't even notice I dropped the lantern. We ran off, and Timothy went to get me some bandages. By the time he came back, the fire started. No, I think my mum suspects, but she doesn't know. My dad wouldn't believe it even if he saw it. I don't know. I told him not to. We knew this fire would be bad for the family, me especially. I guess he wanted to protect me. Probably afraid of losing another brother. Please, tell Arthur the whole truth. Make him understand.
Need something? What? Let me see that. Well, this certainly isn't my handwriting. Looks like it were written by a child. And why would I address my brother by his full name? And most importantly of all, why would I have him burn down my own land? To get one over on them? That's ridiculous. Us Fletchers don't act in pettiness. Tricked by the Baileys, no doubt. I trust you to see the truth of this letter and dismiss it in your inquiries. Fire away. Very well. Later.
Ever vigilant.
How goes the investigation? Go on. As I unfortunately suspected. The evidence? I was so sure this was about the land. I didn't think Harold and Edward could both be wrong. What exactly happened? Those poor boys. The guilt they must be feeling over their brother. Terrible. I'll have a talk with them. Consider the matter dealt with. I know Edward Fletcher. He's not one to demand sanctions over the mistakes of two boys. And Harold? Well, I'll talk with him too. I asked for the truth and you gave it to me. Now I must act on it. I shall be glad to settle this dispute amicably. Thank you. You've done well and proven yourself worthy of Camelot. From this day forth, this land is your land. You shall defend it as your own. I bestow upon you the rank of sergeant. May you serve it well. Now, I had questions if we ever cross paths. Questions about our new head of the civil service, Smythe. Guinevere, our agent in Westminster, has been looking into them for years, but they remain elusive. Who are they? I see. That's some alarming intel. How did you come by it? Rough. I imagine that trail led you to Westminster. But who let you in? Few have the privilege to come and go. Curious. I assume that meeting never happened, judging by your prompt incarceration. After you escaped, Tristan and Iseult met you at the tournament. It seems you were more than just an observer. They said you were looking for explosives, so I must assume you were behind the explosion. Why exactly? So you wanted to kill Smythe, but ended up causing the tragedy that gave them more power. I'd wager Mr. X was more fond of Smythe than he let on. But that's in the past. No point dwelling on it. I expect this Smythe character will take a role in things to come. We must be ready to face all the gentry can throw at us. They're with Smythe now. That gets me onto your next assignment. I want to strike a blow against the Tommies, but I don't want to take military action. At least not yet. Percival is looking into something that you can help with. Speak to him. Good luck, Sergeant.